Hello to all, myself Vandana Yadav and I am pursuing LLB from the Faculty of Law, University of Delhi. आज का हमारा टॉपिक है रूल ऑफ लॉ वर्सेस रूल बाय लॉ, which was recently talked about in the 17th Justice P.T. Desai Memorial Lecture delivered by our Honorable Chief Justice of India Sir N.V. Raman on the 30th of June 2021. This short video is based on the difference between rule of law and rule by law, the origin of the two, the meaning of the two, what is the importance of the rule of law, what are the exceptions to it, and few examples of rule by law. But before beginning the topic, we need to know what do we mean by law. So law means a rule. It's a tool of social control which is backed by the sovereign. But इसके दो मतलब निकाले जा सकते हैं. A, law which is used to render justice, and B, law used to justify oppression. And that is why our renowned scholars, they have argued that a law cannot really be classified as a law unless it imbibes within itself the ideals of justice and equality. And only a state which is governed by such law can said to be the rule of law. Sir N.V. Raman talked and emphasized on 4 principles on which the rule of law is based. The first being laws must be clear and accessible. The second is that equality before law. The third is the right to participate in the creation and the refinement of laws. And the fourth is the strong and the independent judiciary. Coming to the rule of law. Rule of law का मतलब होता है विधि शासन या फिर कानून का शासन. Justice Edward Coke of England is said to be the originator of this doctrine, which is based on the maxim lex is rex. La principle de legality, that is, the government is based on the principles of law. And lex is rex means law is the king. It is the principle that there is nothing above and beyond law and all the citizens are to be treated equally. यहाँ तक कि law बनाने वाले भी इसमें नहीं आते हैं. That is the lawmakers, the law enforcement officials and the judiciary itself. However high you may be, the law is always above you. A.B. Dicey, the English professor and the constitutional expert, has also given 3 principles that govern the rule of law. The first is the supremacy of the law. The second is the equality before law. Equality before law की बात Article 14 of the Constitution of India में भी की गई है, which is a fundamental right. And the third principle which A.V. Dicey talks about is the predominance of the legal spirit. उधर अगर हम rule by law की बात करें तो rule by law is based on the maxim rex is lex, that is, king is the law. रूल बाय लॉ के ओरिजिन की अगर हम बात करें तो किंग्स जेम्स I of England managed to emerge supreme in his struggle against the church and the common law judges and twisted the phrase lex is rex to rex is lex. Rule by law can become an instrument of oppression and it can give legitimacy to the enactment of laws which may grossly violate the basic human rights. For example, Nazi Germany put the Jews in concentration camps and thereafter sent them to the gas chambers. The justification which was offered by them was that there was a law which empowered such acts to be done. The second example is during the apartheid regime in South Africa, repressive and racially discriminative laws against the black majority were sought to be justified on the basis of enacted laws. The British colonial power used the law as a tool of political repression, enforcing it unequally on the parties with a different set of rules for the British and a different set of rules for the Indians. It was an enterprise famous for rule by law rather than rule of law. The concept of the rule of law changed the mode of the administration from king is law to law is king. And it is important for 2 reasons. Firstly, for the protection of the human rights, and secondly, for the healthy functioning of the democracy. Also, in a path-breaking judgment in Keshwananda Bharti case, our Supreme Court ruled that rule of law is a part of the basic structure of the Constitution. Is the rule of law absolute? No, it is not absolute. There are certain exceptions to it. The first being that the President or the Governor is not answerable to the court of law in discharge of his executive functions. Also, no criminal proceedings whatsoever can be instituted against the governor or the president while he is in office. And the third, no civil proceedings in which relief is claimed can be filed against president or the governor except after a expiry of a 2-month notice that is served on him. Rule of law is clearly in contrast to oligarchy or tyranny, where the rules are held above the law. A recent example of rule by law or rule by men is in North Korea, which enacted a law according to which men and women should only cut their hair according to the 28 government approved hairstyles. To sum up, rule of law is to control the unlimited exercise of the power by the supreme law-making authority of the land, while rule by law is laid down by the supreme law-making authority of the land. Thank you.